Parsimonious king ruled a fragile kingdom with great susceptibility to hazards. Though he professed to be rational, his arbitrary, whimsical decisions and ineptitude caused unrest. A wise advisor with acumen, sagacity, and discernment dared to opine, "I deem your rule unjust." The king tried to stifle criticism and ostracize dissenters, but the people denounced him. Realizing his errors, he chose to refrain from power and reintegrate into society quietly. His profligate, extravagant cousin replaced him, yet the advisor remained a voice of reason in a now more systematic, objective court. In the incipient stages of his residency, Der Armen was known for his cordial and amiable nature. Despite the sordid conditions of the clinic, he remained affable, treating each patient with dignity. One day, during an excursion to a nearby village, he uncovered a case of political chicanery, a furtive plot involving artifice and surreptitious dealings that were detrimental to the health of the villagers. While others were sneaky and hesitant to act, he chose a forthright path, delivering a bold sermon on rectitude and justice. Though his words were laudatory toward the villagers' resilience, he knew their situation was vulnerable. Facing capricious officials and a mercurial administration, he had to remain calm and phlegmatic. With a limited budget, he planned reforms, not through acerbic criticism, but through courageous compassion. Arav was an aberration in a town ruled by conformity and blind compliance. His plausible, cogitable ideas clashed with the town's impassivity. Though persuasive, he was seen as a threat, an anomaly. Labeled preposterous, he was ostracized, expelled, and alienated. Still, he remained content. Falsely persecuted, he was later acquitted and absolved. The leaders had tried to repress him and thwart his influence. But in time, assimilation of ideas began. The town showed receptivity. Congruence grew, and they finally acquiesced to his truth. Arav smiled, not in pride, but in peace. 9. The once united kingdom fell into discordance and fragmentation as the nonchalant, insouciant king ignored his duties. The people grew perturbed and averse to his rule. Amid the chaos, a solicitous, vigilant girl named Elira, known for her meticulous ways, sought consensus and solidarity. Though some sparked contention, others showed unanimity and concurrence. With an avid, voracious hope for peace, Elira heralded a new era, not to glorify the past, but to unite the future. 10. A team of scientists congregated to study an anomaly in the soil. Dr. Mira, an affable expert, noticed a peculiarity, but others understated it as a small deviation. Their leader, a bilious, dyspeptic man, would often denounce differing views. Despite the vicissitudes in the team, Mira stayed focused with fixity and exuberant spirit. As others squandered time and dispersed, she worked alone, procured the sample, and distinguished herself by publishing the truth. In the end, she helped integrate the discovery into science. What others had disparaged, she proved valuable. 1. In a time of tranquility, the village lived in peace. But things changed abruptly when an unceremonious order was issued by a partisan leader. The once considerate administration turned churlish and prejudiced, making decisions in a circuitous manner to distort the truth. The economy began to dwindle, trust started to recede, and hope was curtailed. The political situation grew precarious, and the country stood at a precipitous edge of collapse. Every speech carried an inflection of fear. Every policy had a twist or convolution that made it hard to follow. People bent under the pressure like a crook in metal, facing the deflection of justice. Yet, amidst this chaos, a few impartial voices remained receptive to the people's pain, trying to stop the snowball of destruction before it engulfed all. Story 2. In a tenebrous village shrouded in obscure legends, A profound prophecy spoke of a child who would bring reconciliation. When conflict arose, filled with polemic arguments and mutual denunciation, a young girl named Asha stood up. With a radiant presence and luminous voice, she recited the prophecy clearly and explicitly, her words no longer vague or indistinct. Though some found her message inscrutable or inconspicuous, others found it perceptible, cognizable, and even admissible. Her faith was unequivocal, and her message stirred hearts. Through her, the prophecy began to unfold, and the once dark valley glimpsed hope. Paragraph 3. In a placid monastic village of abstemious people living with equanimity and serenity, a defiant, fractious traveler arrived, spreading noxious, pernicious, deleterious, and detrimental rumors. His raucous, roguish voice caused commotion and agitation. Some found him innocuous, some filed a complaint, while the phlegmatic elder chose to repudiate his words and asked all to convene. "Let us eradicate fear, dispose of doubt, and stay unambiguous," he said. A few were amenable, others recalcitrant. The traveler tried to importune, but they chose a propitious, salutary path, divested of fear, now suffused with vivacious, exuberant, and benign joy. His elliptic warnings faded, truth and peace prevailed. Paragraph 4. In a placid village nestled near the elliptic bend of the river, a commotion erupted when a fractious traveler, known for his roguish charm and vivacious energy, began to importune the townspeople with strange tales of a deleterious mist creeping from the woods. Though some dismissed it as innocuous, others feared its noxious nature. A defiant group tried to convene a council to eradicate the threat, while the phlegmatic elders urged equanimity and calm. A monastic man, abstemious in lifestyle yet exuberant in wisdom, spoke with unambiguous authority, warning that ignoring such detrimental signs would be pernicious. He urged them to dispose of fear, repudiate chaos, and embrace a salutary, benign, and propitious mindset. Yet, not all were amenable. Some recalcitrant souls stirred agitation, filing complaints, unwilling to be suffused by the village's serenity. With a tone both serious and raucous, the sage advised them to divest from ego and illusion. In the end, only those with clarity, compassion, and discipline stood strong, proof that in the face of shadows, true peace lies not in noise, but in silent strength. 5 paragraph. In the face of adversity, one must abide by their principles and withstand challenges without yielding. While some attempt to circumvent hardships or evade responsibility, true strength lies in not succumbing to pressure. Those who repudiate fear and discard redundant, superfluous, or extraneous distractions focus only on what is indispensable. Even in meager conditions, with resilience, endurance, and reliance on inner strength, greatness can be achieved. Resources may be earmarked for a purpose and efforts consigned to fate, but success comes when one consecrates their soul to a mission. In a world full of ambiguity and deceptive appearances, being candid, ingenuous, and self-aware is rare. While many chase mundane goals, the sublime strive for purpose. Their buoyancy keeps them afloat even when others sink, and their story is not just of survival, but of triumph.